Robschild, nothing I say is investment advice. Welcome to the show where we view financial markets through crystal ball gazing. JP Morgan once said, millionaires don't need astrologers, but billionaires do. And so we begin. Biggest news of the day, of course, is Bitcoin. We are reaching towards all-time highs today. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we went from this range of 52, 53,000 to spiking all the way up to peaking almost at 64,000 before backing off. As you can see in this chart, we never took out the previous all-time high, but this is getting interesting. This is not the kind of game that I'm interested in playing. The only way to really win, I think the easiest way to win in Bitcoin at levels like this is shorting it, but shorting is always infinitely harder than going long because you don't know how dumb people are going to get when it comes to how high the price can go of something. At least on the opposite end, when people are treating a stock like it's trash, there comes a point where, the if you were to sell the entire company, there would be more leftover money value in the stock than what the entire value is of the company. And so sometimes you'll have advantages like that, when things are low, clearly undervalued, but when things are getting overvalued, yeah, the only game, the safest, easiest way to make money here is to try to figure out where to short it, but it's a dangerous game. But good luck to everybody playing it. I wish you the best. Personally, I'm not touching this with a 40-foot digital pole. This is the S&P 500. This last candle represents today. Tomorrow we see PCE data coming out, so this market is obviously just calming down. We have a little V shape here before that news comes out to see where are we going to go from here. Taking a look at high yield corporate, one of my favorite indicators, this popped today. So smart risky investors see less bankruptcy risk, essentially, is what this really means. Again, everything can really flip any which way tomorrow. Tomorrow can be a big day, It's also possible, as I've seen over and over again, myself included, many people drumming up, oh, what's the CPI port going to say? What's this BCE data going to be like? And how does the market react? Sometimes the market doesn't react at all. It acts like, there's not really anything to it. And interestingly, even if the data is like wildly off from what the market is supposedly expecting, sometimes markets don't react as well at all to that either, because what that essentially means is that the official numbers that are the expected numbers were actually not expected by most market participants, kind of a thing. Moving on to the VIX, not really anything going on here. We need a crystal ball to see what the PCE data is tomorrow and how it's going to make markets react. Notably today, I noticed 10-year yield. This thing has really been going flat. I had said that this has been looking like it's rallying, going higher and higher. We're actually going flat here. And so what this tells me is that this market is maybe waiting for this PCE data to decide whether it's going to keep going higher as it seems like it's expected to go, or if we see some surprising information, it shows weaker data that allows the yields to go down and bond values to go up. The last chart for market updates go for today is Wood, the ETF Wood, WOOD. This is an iShares ETF of global timber and forestry. The value of wood. What it can do is help give an indication as to how much people believe people are going to be buying wood. Particularly the biggest thing here is housing, and having to do with the pricing of housing. And so we see a little spike here today, and when you compare this to the S&P 500, this is another one of those leading indicators that if you see it starting to tick down, the S&P 500 can follow it soon after. And so this market is not showing very much weakness. And so crystal ball wise, doesn't seem like any alarm bells are going off anywhere. Like I said, the HYT, high yield corporate, seems comfortable. VIX seems comfortable. Everything feels comfortable right now. Bitcoin's going to the moon. I mean, it's like people are not worried. People are not worried in investing. And so in this kind of environment, it's expected for things to keep going up. And so, but we'll see how that plays out. I wanted to conclude today with a chart of a company called Alpha Metallurgical Resources. AMR is the stock ticker symbol. This company has been around for a while, kind of restructured. Was selling and staying around between $12 and $20 for several months upon its IPO. What does this company do? To go from $15 a share to $362 a share in 3 years? Oh my goodness. This must be a Bitcoin miner. This must be, something really exciting in the tech world. They must have a lot of AI or something. But what do they actually do? When we scroll down the page, you see over here, coal. They produce coal. They produce coal, and they still only have a PE ratio of 7. And they've gone up. How much? If you had bought this 3 years ago, a coal company, you would have multiplied your profits, say $15 to the current 362. You would have multiplied your investment by 24 in 3 years. This isn't Bitcoin. This isn't AI. This is coal. This is the power of value investing. That's all I have for you today on this show. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Robschild.